You probably disagree, but skill doesn't matter in Dragon Ball, and Broly proves it. Broly has no technique, no training, no mastery, no discipline, and yet he overwhelms Goku. He overwhelms Vegeta. He even forces the strongest fusion in the series. This isn't saying skill doesn't matter. It's saying Dragon Ball doesn't reward it the way you think. Because here, power doesn't come from refinement. It comes from escalation. When people think of Dragon Ball, they think of martial arts, training, technique. But that idea fades as the series evolves. As the scale increases, skill stops being the deciding factor. Timing, stance, efficiency, they help you survive. But they don't decide who wins. Power does. In Z, training doesn't refine skill. It multiplies output. Gravity chambers don't teach technique. They raise ceilings. Power-ups don't make fighters cleaner. They make them louder. Technique becomes secondary to transformation. Skill still exists, but it stops being the focus. As power increases, subtlety disappears. Clean footwork gets swallowed by shockwaves. Efficient movement is replaced by instant repositioning. Precision becomes irrelevant when one hit can end everything. At the scale, skill doesn't disappear. It just loses authority. This is where the misunderstanding begins. Fans keep judging late Dragon Ball fights by early Dragon Ball rules. They expect mastery to decide outcomes, but the series has already moved on. Super Saiyan isn't a reward for refined technique. It's a response to emotional overload. Dragon Ball tells us clearly that growth comes from breaking limits, not perfecting form. And once that rule is established, skill can never be the final answer again. From this point on, skill becomes a support system. It helps fighters survive transitions. It helps them adapt briefly. It helps them last until the next escalation. But it no longer decides who wins. That responsibility belongs to power. Broly is not a refined fighter. He doesn't manage energy well. He doesn't control space. He doesn't probe opponents. He doesn't test reactions. He doesn't set traps. His movements are wide. His attacks are inefficient. His defense is reactionary. From a technical standpoint, he's constantly overexposed. On paper, he should lose. But Broly doesn't learn through training. He learns through exposure. He doesn't correct mistakes. He overpowers them. Every hit he takes raises his output. Every exchange widens the gap. Every second in combat pushes his ceiling higher. He isn't refining technique. He's increasing tolerance. The fight doesn't become cleaner. It becomes irrelevant. Broly doesn't solve the matchup. He outgrows the fight. Broly isn't an exception. He's a pattern. Kid Buu had no technique, only chaos. Jiren relied on overwhelming force, not variety. Z Broly crushed fighters through sheer massive power. None of them outskilled their opponents. They erased them. In Dragon Ball, raw dominance beats mastery. Skill buys time. Power controls the fight. And when the gap is big enough, skill stops mattering at all. Dragon Ball isn't about refinement. It's about survival. It's about emotional pressure forcing growth. Pain creating escalation. Limits being shattered, not perfected. Broly doesn't win because he's skilled. He wins because Dragon Ball rewards raw evolution. Skill helps you last. Power decides who stands at the end. And that's why skill isn't needed in Dragon Ball Z.